cactus and succulent growers. Welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon. And today is a video I really didn't want to do, but because we still don't know when the greenhouse is going to come, I have no choice now it's getting wet and cold to take every single one of my cacti and succulents out here inside my house. Ah! Now, I'm left with no choice until we get the greenhouse. We could be the end of November before it comes, to bring every single one of my cacti and succulents here in the garden inside my house. And I haven't got a clue where I'm going to put them all. There's a lot of plants, as you can see here. And a lot still coming into flower. Some of my lophophoras have been blooming beautiful. They're still very much in active growth. And a lot of the plants here have been under the tables. They're quite dry, so it's a good time to bring them in because it's starting to get very wet and windy. And some of my large cacti, such as this Pachyserius pringley, is wet in the pot. It's, you know, I can't protect it. It's got soaking, sopping wet, and it's never going to dry out here. So I have no choice but to bring it inside. So it's got at least a month before it's dry, because as I say, I don't know when the greenhouse is going to come. The guys at the greenhouse company are doing everything they can to bring the date forward for me because they know my situation, and it's out of their hands because they just deal with the ordering. And then once it's ordered, it goes to a different department for assembly and delivery and assembly. So they can't really, it's not their fault, the greenhouse company itself. They're doing everything they can. But the plants have been doing very well outside so far, as you can see here. The autumn full days so far have been very, very nice, very mild. Plenty of sun, and apologies for the sun flare on the camera, guys, because it is very sunny and it's picking up on the tiny scratches on my lens, so apologies. Hope it doesn't spoil the view too much for you when you're watching. But the plants have been doing very well, so I'm thinking I can't leave them out any longer. The nights are dropping cold, which isn't a problem. We don't really get frost anyway until much later in the year, at sort of November time. But when it rains now, we're getting a lot of heavy rain in between the sun. And when it does rain, it's very, very windy. And as a result, these are all my succulents completely unprotected, soaking wet, sopping wet in the soil. As you can see there, look very wet. And leaves are starting to break off and they're getting a bit tatty. I can't leave these out without the greenhouse. I have to take these indoors, and you know, I've got grow lights, so I can use grow lights. I've also got big tables. I can put them onto tables, and you know, my house does get quite a lot of sun. I've only got smallish windows in my lovely new home, but it lets a lot of light, and every part of the house gets sun. As you can see, these are my some of my big tall euphorbias, and they've got sun damage from the sun, believe it or not. But my crassulas have thrived outside here this year with the amazing spring and summer we've had. And they seem to have loved the recent heavy rainfalls we've been getting. That's the greenhouse base. Just got some of my garden plants on there for now, but that's where the greenhouse is going. And it's going to be gorgeous when the greenhouse arrives, and it's going to be worth the wait. So, you know, I didn't want to have to do this because normally I will bring plants in to overwinter that are not cold hardy, that have to come in anyway. I didn't think I'd be bringing all my cold hardy plants into the house. I thought they'd be going into the new greenhouse. But I can't hold off any longer. I can't afford these plants to get wet. I would normally stop watering anyway, sort of mid to the very latest end of September. Now we're into October. These plants have to dry out fast. And I don't know where I'm going to put them all, but this is going to be part one of probably 2 or 3 videos, guys. And you know what keeps me calm? Wee Honey. He's my little angel. My cat is gorgeous. Oh. Now, guys, can I get this through? I think I'm going to be stuck. As I say, these are really important to bring in because these are the ones in the very large pots and they need to dry out tons of time before we put them into the greenhouse for winter. You see there? Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yay! We have done it. We have done it, guys. Whoa! As you can see, soil is very damp here, but there's a lot of weeds in it. But normally I would pick the weeds out, but I'm actually going to leave the weeds in and take them out when we get the new greenhouse, because weeds will actually help to suck up the moisture. So that's going to help a little bit because I need these to dry out as much as possible before they go into the greenhouse, obviously. Woohoo, guys! This is one of my, thankfully, a spare room that I'm going to be able to put a lot of the cacti in that are going to be going into the greenhouse in here temporarily, just to keep them dry from any rain. And I've made a bit of a start on it. I've put some of the lophophoras that can fit in the windowsill in the windowsill, and this is a very sunny room, so I don't need to worry about putting any grow lights or anything like that in this room because it does get plenty of sunshine. And to show you up here what I've got here, again, some more lofts in the window. In fact, one of them has just started to open up. It was in bud, two of them in fact, and I didn't know whether they'd flower in here, but they're starting to open up the flower. As you can see, it's a little bit in shadow because the sun is coming right through. So it's a great room for light. When cacti actually overwinter in, sunshine isn't really a priority. In fact, as long as you've got somewhere to overwinter them, that's the best thing, because they're pretty much dormant in the winter. As I say, I'm taking these in when I wouldn't normally, because mine still carry on sort of growing up until late October. But I'm having to do this because I can't keep them outside, because when it rains and it's windy, very windy, now it's the fall, the wind will just blow all the rain onto them, and then they need time to dry out. So that's sort of good. So obviously I've just brought these up now, putting these into these little boxes and then offloading here. So whew, I'm getting there, guys. Guys, I'm absolutely exhausted, and to know that I'm going to have to move the majority of all the ones I'm bringing in all out when we get the new greenhouse is exhausting, to say the least. But as you can see, the tables here, took the two tables away, and I've got a lot that's coming in now. So it's such a relief to sort of get this in, because it's important I focus on the cacti that are really sensitive to damp. So that's why I've took the two lot of that was all here in the tables, and I've moved a lot of the tall Trichocereus. Oh, I don't even show you the house. This is all a lot of the tall ones. It's an absolute mess because I really have nowhere to put them until the greenhouse comes. This is all our tall ones here, and I'll probably film it a bit better when it's in the mornings, because this gets all morning sun, so these are not going to be totally in shade. They're in shade now because the sun moves from our kitchen and then goes across the front of the house, which is perfect for the ones I've just put in the room now. But they'll do for now, and some of these will have to overwinter anyway here, such as the Pilosa cereus, because they're not cold hardy. So obviously when we get the greenhouse, we'll be taking out a lot of the cereus that are cold hardy, such as the Trichocereus varieties, and then moving all of the Pilosa cereus that we've got that are not cold hardy back to the wall, and probably doing a much nicer arrangement, because at the moment I've got all the cereus here. The priority is, guys, just to protect them from rain so they dry out in plenty of time before we put them into the new greenhouse. And I've also got newspapers down there because I'm bringing in plants on the newspapers. That helps to suck out excess moisture as well. And I've got cardboard here, sheets of cardboard, because these plants, a lot of these were out in the garden, and the cardboard will help to dry them out. The biggest problem, and it is the problem with overwintering cacti. As I say, a lot of these are not going to be overwintered in the house. They're just going to be here till we get the greenhouse. Is that if the nights drop cold, you know, we can't freeze in the house, we put the heating on, and I really don't want any of these to grow because they will grow stretched out. I can turn the heating off, the radiator off in the room I've just shown you with them, with the plants in there, so it can be cool for them, but I can't do that in our kitchen because we don't want to freeze, and plus we cook in here as well. Anyway, I just keep telling myself it's only temporary until we get the greenhouse. So it doesn't matter how messy it looks, it's only temporary. I'm somebody who cannot stand clutter. I'm a tidy freak. So I hate it to see this in our beautiful kitchen. And these are some of our house plants that we have beautifully displayed. And it's not nice to have all the tall cacti just placed everywhere. But you have to just do what you have to do, and the priority, as I mentioned, is keeping the plants dry so they can dry out. I've got all the succulents here on the trays as well that I've took out from the garden. I have no idea where I'm going to put these, but if they just have to stay here, so be it, because, as I mentioned, it is only temporary, and if I tell myself that, I won't completely freak out. Anyway, back to work. So I'm just starting to fill up again here. There's still quite a bit of space left in the little room I showed you there. So these are a few smaller ones that I'm going to be just pushing in around the plants. And then in the video I'll probably do the next day or two, I will then start on taking these tables up. I'm probably going to do what I did in the other room, and this is unfortunately going to have to go into our bedroom by the window. 2 tables up there in our bedroom, and then put all the ones under here onto the tables in our bedroom to keep them dry. These are actually sort of okay anyway. They stay pretty dry under this table here. I'll give you an example. Had a heavy downpour only the other day, and this is totally bone dry. The rain keeps off. The biggest problem is when it's very windy, because when you've got 30-40 mile an hour winds and it's heavy rain, as I mentioned, it just goes right under the tables and they get soaked. But the temperatures are so nice and mild, and the days have been pretty good, so it's a shame I have to bring them in. But as I say, I have to do what I have to do, because one big soaking is enough to get these soaked. Here I've got my Gymnoclisium root beer there in bud. I've got quite a lot of gymnos in bud, as you can see, so they're staying under the table because I don't want to disturb them. I want them to come into flower, and so they're protected from rain under here for now anyway. But obviously you have to bring them all in, and if it's a choice of flowers or keeping them dry is priority now at this time of year anyway. And I have no idea, guys, and I'm serious when I say this, no flipping idea where I'm going to put the Apuntias, because you know they are pretty cold hardy and they're pretty wet hardy as well, so I'm not panicking about these just yet. However, they will have to come in unless we get the greenhouse in the next couple of weeks. You never know. They're trying to do everything they can with bringing the date forward, so fingers crossed. But if it is going to be the end of November, these will have to come into the house, obviously, because these can't get wet either. Some are wetter hardier than others, but they need to be dry, and these are pretty dry all under the table as well. But these will all have to come in, so that's going to be probably in the next video. Oh my gosh, and all the aloes. We've even got plants in the shed protecting from rain. It's mad, guys. I never thought I'd be in this position as I am without the greenhouse when I ordered it in April. It's a good job I'm quite a calm person. I look at the positive with everything. You have to, don't you? Otherwise you crack up. You have to laugh, because I try and find the humour in everything. And guys, yeah, what can you do about it? It's just a temporary situation, Lynn. That's what I keep telling myself. Keep calm. Anyway, I'm going to finish today all of these left on here. I'm going to keep the golden barrel. That one is one I just take into the house temporarily and put it out during the days, because when I'm still have to be filming videos. If it's inside the house is not ideal, probably with the lighting. But if I can do videos on how to care for certain plants in the meantime, I need this sort of table here, or maybe I'll be able to use the stone table here to do videos, presentations on plants and things. I don't know what I'm going to do, but anyway. Oh golly ollie. So here we go. Nearly there, guys. Just a few odd bods and little sods. Woo! See, it's windy. Woohoo! That's the tables cleared anyway. I've kept these here because these can take rain. In fact, they need a watering anyway. My Apuntia salmianas, they need watering. My Slendiceros grandiflorus, that as well. And my Aporo phylums and Aporo cacti, they're completely bone dry, so it doesn't matter if it rains. But this is all I've cleared. Oh my gosh, how wonderful. And he's Honey. Isn't he gorgeous? He always keeps me calm amongst all the chaos. Oh golly. Now just all this to do, but I'll take you upstairs and show you where I've put all the plants, well, the majority of the plants that I had on here. Woohoo, guys, I'm exhausted. So that is 3 tables cleared, and I've managed to actually put them onto 2 tables, and it's very sunny in here at the moment, so apologies for the sun flare on the camera. It gives a bit of a flare, but just to show you, I've managed to bring the first lot of cacti in, including all the cereus, in the kitchen for now. And all of these ones here, they're protected. They're going to be protected from rain. And as I say, the majority of these will all be going into the new greenhouse anyway. So, you know, it's just to keep them protected for now. Oh my gosh. And here is Honey, our gorgeous cat. And obviously the biggest problem when you have pets is to stop them from jumping up. Honey is pretty good actually. As long as the tables are full, he won't jump up. He'll sort of scan the area, see if he can pounce anywhere, but he won't if the tables are full. But obviously I worry about his safety. I don't want him to get spines in his fur. But he's pretty good. What is it, Honey? So, yep, so that's that, guys. So obviously that's the first part. And I'll just go and step on the little stall here, because this high up, having the 2 tables on top of each other, I have to stand up on the stall to show you this. Oh my golly. And obviously when I'm filming a little update in here, it's better when it's not sunny, because it's giving a bit of a blue cast on the camera. But I hope you can see, guys. They're pretty much okay. And I've got some hanging baskets here, some epiphytes. So this is why I've got a lot of the lower ones here, a lot of the lofts and other types of low growing cacti. So I can still reach with the watering can to water the hanging baskets. But look at that. So they're going to be safe here until the greenhouse arrives. I get plenty of light. So I don't have to worry about putting grow lights on in this room anyway, which is great. Obviously, I am probably going to have to put grow lights in our bedroom. It's a sunny window, but we're going to have to probably put a table up a little bit further away, because we have to put another 4 tables somewhere to put all the plants. We have a bit of space, obviously, underneath here. This is actually quite bright, but it doesn't get any direct sun. And I'm going to be switching the radiator off, because I don't want the plants to have heat and encourage them to grow at this time of year. This could be good to put a lot of my epiphyllums under here, because they can take shade. And I might actually not put them in the greenhouse, because the greenhouse is going to be going in a very, very sunny spot in the garden. And I might overwinter them in here, cool and dry, and then put them out for the spring and summer, hang them up outside in our garden, because they seem to love being outside, the epiphyllums. But I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Hard to plan anything at the moment, because it's just mental till we get the greenhouse and I know exactly how much space I've got. But whew, I've got there anyway. So do stay tuned for part 2, where I've got the other load of cacti, as you can see, in the garden, where we're going to put another couple of tables up, probably in our bedroom. Oh, I know. And doing the same thing again with all of these. So, guys, what do you reckon? And wish me luck for part 2, guys. And do wish me luck for the greenhouse, because it is just so stressful right now. So, if you haven't done already, please do subscribe and click the notification bell. And do leave a comment in the comments down below, even a heart or a smiley face. Every comment really does help the algorithm. And you can follow me on Insta and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon. And check my website out for lots of growing tips on there and what I'm up to. desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all an absolutely fantastic, hopefully not as chaotic as mine, cactus powered day. Oh my gosh. These poor things, they want their greenhouse. Oh, but as you can see, it's very sunny here in the meantime for them.